Yeah, that we can.
You know, you would want to just visually look at your surface where the band rides to make sure it's not warped really bad, because if you can see the warp, it's no good.
And if it's okay to have a couple scratches?
Yeah, you want scratches because that's what's giving you the band to grab onto. If it's perfect polished over here, then it's going to slip a little bit.
Okay.
So you want a cross hatch, like when you're taking some emery cloth and cleaning these up.
Brush them
you
up.
You want to kind of cross hatch them a little bit side to side so that they've got some bite to it.
Cool.
You want to check in here on your grooves to make sure that where the rings seal the hole here that applies the clutch, that you've got no physical indents in there. If there's wear on the groove marks, then it's no good. He was looking at this one here, and you can see how half of it is polished nice, and then you look at the other half, and it's got grooves in it. So most likely what's going on here is this hole is oval shaped, because he was able to polish one side, but the other side still wasn't touching. You can see the band surface here is really smooth. Putting some crosshatch on that would probably help the band bite it. I mean, not all of them have notches on every single spot. See how it's got one missing?
And that's okay.
That's fine, because the factory will balance this drum by taking one off or whatever. Because you can see this one and this one is missing the notch, but you see how much of the notch is still left? Mm-hmm. So they most likely cut that piece off just for a balancing issue.
Cool. So if it's missing a tab,
yeah,
it's
you
okay.
wanna polish these. You wanna make sure there's no grooves where the rings go. These snap rings like to warp. You can see how it's all kind of bent. They spread out, and then it'll allow this to come off while it's inside the trans. What'll happen is this will get all up into the pump washer and chew it up.
Make a question, Brian. Doesn't Sonics make an aftermarket?
Yes, they make a kit that will put a washer down and then a spiral locked snap ring, and then you fold the washer part over so that it can never come back out.
Awesome.
So you'll always want to put that on there, and you'll never have this issue. That's just one little safety little part that costs very little, and you'll never have this situation go bad. As far as the last piece, you're checking these notches, because that's where the shell fits on all these little notches. Now, if you look at these, you see no notching and no wear on the sides from side to side. But if you take a look at this one, you can see that it's starting to notch the side on just about every one of them. And that's where that shell that fits in there is banging. So it will work, but it can cause a clank noise when you engage it into reverse to drive, because you're getting just a little bit of slop there, and it will also start wearing the shell, the teeth that fit in there.
But you don't want to clean that up, because then
You
you
don't
change
want
the
to,
balance.
also it changes the size of it, which makes it loose in the shell to begin with. Because
deal
it's
with the
supposed to
banging.
fit pretty solid. You don't want it to fit loosely, because then it'll do the same thing.